Hello there, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Recent reads. I'm back with the recent reads already. Who am I? This never happens, but let's just go with it. This is going to be hopefully short. I have to leave to go to my nephew's birthday dinner really soon, so I'm gonna try to speed this up. If it's a short video, I apologize, but sorry. The first book that I'm going to quickly talk about is Down and Out in Paris and London by George Orwell. This is the first thing I've ever read by George Orwell, so this is pretty exciting for me. Still have not read 1984 or Animal Farm. Calm down, I will read them someday. Before I die, we'll see. I don't know. Someone told me this is Orwell's first full-length work novel-ish thing. Could be wrong, not sure. This is a memoir, or it's supposedly memoir, autobiographical, fictional account sort of thing. The narration of this sort of makes it feel otherwise, but this is basically Orwell's account of living in poverty in Paris and London. I'm not sure what I was really expecting when reading this book. I wasn't prepared for this. I did not realize how impactful, raw, and real this was going to be. Honestly, I was blown away. I loved this so much. One of my favorite books this year. And this is not an uplifting story. It is sad, but it's written in such a humorous way. So we follow this penniless writer as he is working endless hours in the back of restaurants in the kitchen, and you know, from there he's living on the streets, hopping from place to place, meeting all of these really interesting people along the way. I love how Orwell went about talking about the stigma that we see with poverty and just all of society's views on that, and it was just such a great read. I honestly can't give it enough praise. I highlighted and wrote so much in this book. There's a quote that I wanted to share with you guys. Yet if one looks closely, one sees that there is no essential difference between a beggar's livelihood and that of numberless respectable people. Then the question arises, why are beggars despised? If one could earn even £10 a week at begging, it would become a respectable profession immediately. A beggar, looked at realistically, is simply a businessman, getting his living like other businessmen in the way that comes to hand. He has not more than most modern people sold his honor. He has merely made the mistake of choosing a trade at which it is impossible to grow rich. I will end that there. Next, I have the wonderful, amazing Steinbeck, who warms my heart so much. This is the Chrysanthemums and Other Stories. This is a small pocketbook of a collection of 3 stories, the Chrysanthemums being the main story, and then we have Flight and the Murder. All 3 stories in here are fantastic, though I'm only gonna focus on the Chrysanthemums today just because honestly it was the most impactful story in here. The Chrysanthemums is honestly such a treasure. I have gone back and reread it 4 times now. I think 4 times, maybe 3, but it could be 4. The Chrysanthemums is the story of this middle-aged woman. She's not really happy with herself. She lives in a time, I think, where women are just not really appreciated. They're kind of overlooked intelligence-wise, blah, 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 blah. She's frustrated, isolated, lonely. Her husband doesn't give her the recognition in the way that she wants to. So it's got this really sad tone to it. She can't really be this person that she wants to be. One of her only outlets is growing chrysanthemums, these flowers in her garden, and they're beautiful. So when this man shows up and compliments her on these flowers, she feels that she can open up, that she can maybe be herself a bit more. I think the flowers themselves, the chrysanthemums, symbolize her as a whole. So she gives this man some of the chrysanthemums to take away, and later on when she goes into town with her husband to go watch a movie, she sees the flowers that she gave this other man thrown on the side of the road. You know, it's so sad because giving the flowers to that man, she was giving a piece of herself to him, and so just seeing them on the side of the road like that, it's like seeing all of your hopes and dreams and who you are just thrown away. It is so heartbreaking. There's so much more honestly to the story that I could talk about, but I will stop it there because I need to hurry up. If you enjoy Steinbeck and you have not read this short story, this is a must, so read it. And then I read Choke by Chuck Palahniuk. This book. Our main character, Victor, is a medical school dropout, and he is currently taking care of his mother and having to pay for her elder care bills. He's struggling a lot. So he forms up a scam. The scam that he plots up is to go to restaurants, upscale restaurants, and as he's eating his meal, he chokes on his food and lets himself be saved by random people around him. And those people that save him, just by human reaction, I guess, they feel responsible for him in a way, for his life. So they begin to send him checks to support him. It's ridiculous, it's absurd, I don't get it, but it's Chuck Palahniuk, so I shouldn't really be surprised. This is going to sound really sad because of how much I loved Fight Club, but I feel like with every new Palahniuk book I read, my enjoyment factor just keeps going downhill. Dare I say Palahniuk feels a bit formulaic? I'm not sure, but I am sure I got absolutely nothing out of this book. I think if you've never read Palahniuk before and then you go and read this, you would probably enjoy it because it's still Chuck Palahniuk. He's a great writer. It's just that this didn't do anything for me. I do have to congratulate this book though, because it made it on my list. The list of the worst books I've read this year. And then I read Cress by Marissa Meyer. This is the third book in the Lunar Chronicles. I feel that most people are aware of the series, most people have heard of it, you probably all know what it's about. Being that this is the third book in the series, I can't say much, but this series is basically a retelling of fairy tales set in a science fiction fantasy world where Cinderella is named Cinder and she's part cyborg, and the people of Earth are on the brink of a war with the people of the moon, basically. I have to be honest, I cannot lie, these books are not well written. The characters are very annoying and I find myself questioning the romance left and right because I just don't get it. That being said, and still being honest, I love these books so much. They are so entertaining. It's candy, really. I mean, you know, it's bad, but I want more. That's how I felt about Gossip Girl in high school. I used to love watching Gossip Girl, and I mean, it's not good, it's ridiculous, but it's so freaking addicting. I wouldn't really recommend these books, but like I said, I'm hooked. I enjoy these a lot, and I really want the last book, but I can't bring myself to buy it. And the last book I'm going to talk about is Undisclosed by Steve Alten. I'm only going to slightly mention this book. I'm not going to say a lot because I have a book review video for that, which will be up sometime soon. But what I will say is that I love this book a lot. It's Steve Alten. Of course I love this book. If you enjoy UFOs, conspiracy theories, 0 point energy, etc., you would love this. If you enjoy the X-Files, if you're a fan of the X-Files, this book is for you and you need to go out and buy this book and read it immediately. That's all I'm gonna say. Look out for my review sometime in January, I think. And those are all the books that I will be sharing with you today. If you've read any of them, thoughts and opinions down below. I would love to talk with all of you. Hopefully I can continue uploading recent reads very often because I want to talk about all the books that I've actually read this year within this year and not into next year, because it's ridiculous. And that's all I think I want to say. One more thing. I never say this, but I think I might start saying this. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, I would appreciate it. Leave a comment. All my social media links will be down below. I have a Twitter, you can tweet me, message me there if you want to talk with me. I am always on Twitter, creeping away, it's what I do. So with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I will see you all in another video soon. Bye.